Good morning. So Megan Fenton did not suddenly shrink 5 inches. My name is Ann Pearl, and I will be your worship associate today. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing our song of gathering. It is today in your teal hymnal, number 1000, Morning Has Come.
Good morning. My name is Nora Mulligan, and I am the president of the Board of Trustees of the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Hudson Valley. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Hudson Valley. Whether you have been with this congregation a decade or more, or this is your first time visiting, we welcome you. Whatever the faith and traditions of your past, we welcome you. Whatever your theological stance, we welcome you. Whoever you are and whomever you love, we welcome you. Whatever your heritage, we welcome you. We respectfully acknowledge the territory on which our church building sits as the ancestral homelands of the Munsee, Lenape, and Wappinger people. We have one announcement. Starting in February, that's next week, the Coffee Hour Hospitality Team system will begin again after several years in hibernation. The Team 1 co-chairs, Gunnel Rydstrom and Daria Gregg, sent out emails this week to members of Team 1. The email has the link to the spreadsheet and volunteer hospitality team manual. Please make sure you check your email and fill in the spreadsheet with your name and the dates and tasks you want to sign up for. The good news is that there are 4 teams, which means there are 4 months in between your assigned months. For the most up-to-date information on these topics and others, please refer to our weekly e-newsletter and check our website frequently. And please join us for conversation after the service. If you're present in the sanctuary, please come to the fellowship hall. If you're watching the live stream, the link for our Zoom coffee hour can be found in the Saturday reminder in your email. If you're just recently joining us and would like to receive our weekly e-news, please email us at uucroton@gmail.com with your name, and we'll make sure you're added to our e-news list. Also, please remember to silence your cell phones at this time. Once again, we welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Hudson Valley.
Good morning. Good morning. We come to this meeting house today with so many joys and so many sorrows, and some are related to the turning of the season, and some are so personal to our own struggles. And some of the joys that we carry and some of the sorrows that we carry over the last 7 years as a community have been held with the songs of music that make our services central. Today, as many of you know, this is the last service with Josiel Shaw as our music director. And as you came in this morning, you might have noted beautiful hearts on that staircase. And those were made by Josiel because she reminded us, whoever is in the office of music director, whoever holds that sacred trust, never stop singing. And so as you head out, as you go to coffee hour, as you come in for the rest of this year, look at those quotes, those little messages from writers like Zora Neale Hurston, from musicians, recent and long past, and remember, never stop singing. So today, we're gonna start our music celebration by ringing our bell 8 times for the 8 ethical principles of our faith, where we honor the worth and dignity of every person, and we see the sacred connections of life that ground us all. I now invite Luke Widener and the youth of the congregation to head to the bell tower, where we will ring our bell 8 times for our 8 principles of faith. May that spirit carry us today and tomorrow.
Please welcome Emily, who will be our chalice lighter today. For our reading today, it is by Peter Samochsky. May this flame we light remind us that every one of us can bring the light of love to the world. May this clear flame be a symbol that every heart can burn bright with joy, peace, and harmony. May the wisdom of ages speak to us through this flame and stay in us. Every one of us can be a blessing to the world. Now please join me in saying our unison affirmation. The words are in your order of service. Inspired by love, our mission is to seek our true nature, connect deeply and openly, and act for justice.
It is my great honor to begin a ceremony of gratitude as we come to this moment of transition. And to begin that, I invite you to open your great hymnals to number 597. This is a responsive reading. So in the back of the book, there are a collection of readings, 597. And it's called Love versus Hate. I'll read the regular text and everything italicized. We read together. Never does hatred cease by hating in return.
Only through love can hatred come to an end.
Victory breeds hatred.
The conquered dwell in sorrow and resentment.
They who give up all thought of victory or defeat
May be calm and live happily at peace.
let us overcome violence by gentleness.
Let us overcome evil by good.
Let us overcome the miserly by liberality.
Let us overcome the liar by truth.
Music is a gateway to truth. Music is a gateway to love. Music is a gateway to life. In our ceremony of gratitude, we will have voices from past, present, and future. How is the last one going to be possible? Past, present, and future to recognize this moment. And the voice from the past is a former minister of this congregation, the Reverend Sarah Lindsay, who was the first minister to work with Josiel in our congregation. And when I shared about Josiel's departure, her blessings of this time, Reverend Sarah Lindsay wrote a note. Reverend Sarah Lindsay, who's now the minister in Ridgewood, writes, I was the minister at UU Hudson Valley when we hired Josiel. We were looking for someone who could not only play hymns, but play a range of beautiful music. More importantly, we were searching for someone who understood the partnership of the pianist and the congregation, of words and silence and music. Josiel fit the bill of being there in every service, professional, collaborative, and deeply present. And then she writes, Josiel, I was so very grateful for you during my time at the congregation. Your kindness and compassion shone through every Sunday and in every interaction. I remember my time here with you with such love and carry with me your example of what an accompanist, what a musician in our tradition can be. Thank you for your years of service. Thank you for your presence. And thank you for your friendship. Thank you for you. You are a gift. And I wish you all the best as you head into your next chapter. So words from our former minister who once was at this pulpit, once worked with our music director, and is with us today to remind us we're part of a stream. Which brings us to the present and our current board chair, Nora Mulligan.
here not only as president of the board, but as a longtime member of the choir. Josille has been heart and soul of the choir for many years. She's stood with us, not only her musicality and her ability to teach, but her generosity of spirit, her encouragement of everything that we could do, her sense that we could always do more than we ourselves thought that we could do. We want to thank Josille for all the things that she's done for us. The choir has gotten together and purchased this painting for you, Josille, because we know you like it. We want to thank you. When you look at it, think of us, and remember all those nights that we practiced together and all those Sundays that we sang together with your help. Thank you.
And now a voice for the future. How is that going to happen? Well, I'm inviting Sherry Brown to come up and share a little story with a gift that you can open up at a future date.
So I have to protect the piano. My tribute is a story. Bear with me. It's an original. The jar that held the light. Some years ago, during her travels, a woman came into the possession of a tall glass jar that had soft bluish-green glow every time it caught the light from the sun. The woman moved a lot, but every time she did, she found a place for the jar where the sun could stream through to catch its soft bluish glow. She began to think of it as the jar that caught the light. One day, she was given the news that the woman named Josille, who for 7 years had filled the sanctuary of her church on Sunday with beautiful music, needed to make a move of her own. Josille was no ordinary woman. Her skills on the piano dazzled everyone who had the pleasure of hearing her play. She sometimes composed song medleys that seamlessly fit the theme of the Sunday service. She would play soft, soothing compositions to bring those present in the sanctuary gently back from a minute of meditation. She sometimes played songs that stirred long-forgotten memories into a rousing group singing. She stepped out of her comfort zone and kept the choir together when they needed her. She seemed to have an endless knowledge of music and loved sharing that with everyone present. But that was not all. Her kindness, generosity, and compassion reminded the woman of the light that was caught in the jar that held the light. Wherever Josille was, she brought a light that seemed to glow around her. So the woman decided that the jar that held the light needed to be shared. It would become a vessel that could hold the gratitude everyone felt for Josille. Sunlight and gratitude seemed to be a good combination. Some of the gratitude in the jar was expressed in words or pictures using pen on paper. Some of the gratitude was reflected in the sunlight caught in the jar. The hope was that each time Josille's eye caught the glow of the jar, or opened the lid to read a written memory or expression of gratitude, she would be reminded that she is loved.
Music is love. We are grateful for this moment. We are grateful for our time. And more than words at this moment, I think we need to sing. And I now invite Luke Widener to come up to offer a special song, Stars from Les Miserables, that he and Josiel have prepared for today.
Out in the darkness, a fugitive running, falling from grace, falling from grace. God, be my witness, I never shall yield till we come face to face. Till we come face to face. Heroes is way in the dark, but mine is the way of the Lord. Those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the sword. In your multitudes, scarce to be counted, filling the darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky. You hold your course and your aim, and each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flame. And so it has been, and so it's written on the doorway to paradise, that those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him, safe behind bars that will never rest. To this I swear by the stars.
Tough act to follow. Our reading today is by Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. The poet, abolitionist, and journalist Watkins Harper was active in both African Methodist Episcopal and Unitarian churches throughout her adult life. This is a selection from her poem, Songs for People. Let me make the songs for the people, songs for the old and young, songs to stir like a battle cry wherever they are sung. Not for the clashing of sabers, for carnage, nor for strife, but songs to thrill the hearts of all with more abundant life. Our world, so worn and weary, needs music pure and strong to hush the jangle and discords of sorrow, pain, and wrong. Music to soothe all its sorrow till war and crime shall cease, and the hearts of all grown tender circle the world with peace. Now, please rise in body or spirit as you are able, and join us in singing number 311 in your gray hymnal, Let It Be a Dance.
Now is the time in our service where the children and the youth will head to religious education. And before they do, I just ask we applaud one more time for Luke Widener.
Go down.
Let us now bear witness to the joys and sorrows experienced in our community. If you have a brief yet personally significant joy or sorrow that you are willing to share, please come up to the standing microphone and speak loudly so that everyone, including the people watching at home, can hear you. If you would prefer to only have a candle lit without speaking, please just stand and I will light a candle for you. I'd like to start with two things. First of all, a candle of concern for our dear Megan Fenton, just wishing her a very speedy recovery. And there we go. And the next thing was a joy that was emailed to me by Karen Sue Rositsky, sorry. And it says as follows. My joy, my dearest Joseel, you gave me years of music wrapped in your love. I now begin a new path, carrying your gifts with me forever. Thank you. Love, Karen Sue.
My name is Nora. I have a sorrow that I just found out that my granddaughter's other grandmother has breast cancer that is triple negative, which is a very aggressive and dangerous kind of cancer, and we're hoping for the best for her.
Well, let me start by saying today, I always liked this song when I came to America. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king horses, all the king men could not put him together again, but Jesus can. And just for you, I'm going to sing Ave Maria in Latin. Ave Maria, gracia plena. Maria, gracia plena. Maria, gracia plena. Ave, Ave Dominus, Dominus tecum. Benedicta tu in unienibus, benedicta tu enibus, benedicta tu in unienibus, benedicta tu in unienibus. Ave Maria.
I just found out that a dear friend is suffering from breast cancer and it has gone into her lymph nodes. Prayers, please. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm April. I have some joys. My first joy is that my family went to Key Largo last week. Yeah, William and my husband and I, we had an amazing time. Just really mind-blowing, where we met manatees and they came up to the place we were staying like almost every day. And we fed squirrels and they became our friends. And it was really like just out of this world. So, and then we were supposed to come back today, later tonight, but we changed our flight really so that William could have a day at home before going back to school. But it is a joy and a sorrow to be here today. It's important to be here. as we love Josille as she goes on to her next phase. And also, it's been a miraculous joy in my life that I've been able to take piano lessons with Josille for the last 1.5 years, and it's been very healing. And that is a joy that I know will keep on giving. Thank you.
I'm Susie. I have a joy that since before COVID, Tyler and I have been trying to get a government program for him. And we've applied and we filled out forms and we've met with people and we've gone to doctors and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, it finally came through. So it will be very helpful for both of us.
I'm Heather Hewitt, Luke's mom. So I have a joy and a sorrow. I think you can imagine what my joy is as a parent. So my sorrow is that this afternoon I am, I use the word celebrating with some close friends, the 1-year anniversary of my mother's death. My mother was a pianist, and it is both, well, there's the sorrow, but also the joy that Josille has given me every Sunday listening to her play, because she connected me to my mother through the music. And Josille, you will, I don't think, ever know how much that meant to me as I grieved and mourned. And the other thing that I wanted to thank you for is that I'm taking piano lessons, and I think it's partly because of you. I have my mother's piano now in our house.
Hello, I'm Terry, and it is just a joy to be back. As many of you know, I had a surgery about a month ago that had some complications and was pretty much laid up. And the kindness and support and messages from people, I have such deep gratitude, from the beautiful shawl through caring and sharing that Maria Morrissey crocheted, to dinners, to notes, to shower chairs, to walkers. I mean, you guys came through in such a big way, and it just really, really meant so much to me. After the complication, I sort of sunk into a little bit of a funk, but you know, that's life. And I just thought it was so prophetic and wonderful that today's hymn, Let It Be a Dance, talked about let your body learn to bend, because that's what I've been spending the last month doing. And just as an addendum, I'm also so thankful and grateful and joyous for the $1,300 that we collected this Christmas season and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa season for the Hope Store and Jam Peak. You guys are amazing. Love you.
Good morning, I'm Allie Fraze, and my joy today is that yesterday was my daughter's 7th birthday, and my mom, Cynthia, is here visiting from Texas.
Good morning, I'm Matthew Widener, also Luke's dad. So, you're getting both of us here today for different reasons. I have a joy. And as many of you may know, I think many of you do know, I suffered a series of concussions over the last 10 plus years. I've had at least 4. And the last 2 was very difficult for me because I really struggled with stimulation, both visual and audio stimulation. And so during those recovery periods for several months, I could not listen to music. It was very difficult, and it's why I now have even greater joy in the music that this place brings to us every morning, and it has always been something, I've frankly thought about coming up here and saying this for a number of times, and today just seemed like the right day to do so. So thank you to Josille and to all the members of the choir who over the years it's always been wonderful. And so, as someone who was not able to enjoy music for a period of time, it's just all the more special.
Good morning, my name's Cynthia and I'm Allie Fraze's mom. She didn't know I was coming up here. And there's been a lot of sadness and discord, and Miscommunication in the family for a while, and I just feel so joy-filled and blessed to be invited to my daughter's and son-in-law's home and to celebrate my granddaughter's birthday. And I'm a practicing Catholic, and I feel very joyful to be welcomed here. So, thank you.
Hi, I'm Pat Krugman. I once taught 7 children piano lessons for a few years. I have sung in many choirs, both in Carnegie Hall and Avery Fisher Hall and St. John the Divine, and all over the place. I was part of a human Christmas tree in my hometown. Never has any of that come anywhere near the joy of singing with you directing, Jacille, and playing. Absolute pure joy. Thank you so much.
I'm Al Raymond. I just wanted to thank Jacille for spontaneously, many times, playing my #1 favorite, 159.
Were there any others that I missed? Okay. Okay. Going to light one more virtual candle for all the unspoken joys and sorrows held within the sanctuary of our hearts, and also for all those people who have yet to find a spiritual home where they too can share their joys and sorrows.
We'll now have a moment of music for meditation. Hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. Now is the time in our service we'll have a prayer and then a moment of silent meditation. After that period of silent meditation, I invite you to join in the hymn number 16, one Josiel chose. These are all hymns Josiel chose. Number 16, "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple." Spirit of life and love, bigger than the universe, smaller than a grain of sand, be with us on this day, a day we are so conscious of what was, what is, and anxious for what may be. All around the world, people are gathering to honor the Lunar New Year, a transition to a new time, a time of recommitment to family, a time of recentering stories, a time to laugh and share food. Today, let us recommit to one another. Let us recommit to the stories we carry, to the hopes and dreams that we celebrate and share. And may we be honest and loving and grow with one another, even as we mourn the awful violence which seems to grow worse in the world every day. Give us the grace to be present with one another, to be kind to one another, and to seek the deeper love that we hear again and again in music. Be with us in this moment of silent meditation and as we sing our next hymn. May it be so. poem we heard in our gratitude ceremony, I'm going to read one more time from Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. Let me make the songs for the people, songs for the old and young, songs to stir like a battle cry wherever they are sung. Not for the clashing of sabers, for carnage, nor for strife, but songs to thrill the hearts of all with more abundant life. Our world, so worn and weary, needs music pure and strong to hush the jangle and the discords of sorrow, pain, and wrong. Music to soothe all the world's sorrow, till war and crime shall cease, and the hearts of all grow tender and circle the world with peace. Songs for the people. Frances Ellen Watkins Harper is an amazing person in our tradition. Slowly, her star, just like that song, slowly her star is rising in our consciousness, but she's a voice from another century whose words, to me, especially this line, "Our world so worn and weary," it feels like it was written today. She had an amazing life. She grew up in Baltimore. Her parents had been enslaved. She was born free before the Civil War. And she vowed to use her life for transformation. She was educated in a Quaker school. She became a poet. She was an abolitionist. She was an activist who ran stops on the Underground Railroad. And after the war, she was a journalist working to help create that vision of Reconstruction and a more beautiful country. And as an adult, she was a perfect Unitarian Universalist. She continued membership in multiple congregations. She was a member of the African Methodist Episcopal Church in Philadelphia and of the First Unitarian Church in Philadelphia. And she saw no contradiction because she said the spirit of love is everywhere. So why should I be restricted in which building I encounter love? Frances Ellen Watkins Harper speaks to us from another time, a time far more worn and weary than our own, and dares to say that love actually matters. What you do actually matters. How we relate to each other, how we're present with one another, where we show up to each other, that's actually really important. And if you do that now, you're going to change someone's life in the 22nd century. You will. You won't see that person. They might not even be your grandchild. They might be some other voice, a story, a person, someone unknown. But something kind you do this week will have ripples unknown. Someone taught the teacher who taught Frances Ellen Watkins Harper. Someone loved her mother. That gift across generations, it grows in unknown ways. We are here, this is a perfect example. We are worshiping in a former Methodist church. I don't think they had any idea it would become a Unitarian Universalist congregation in 1926, but we are here. And I think, especially as we're considering the office of music director, it's especially important that we're in a former Methodist congregation, because there was a tradition in Methodist churches in their early years where pastors never stayed more than 3 years. They had to always rotate. And it was the congregation that kept the community alive. Ministers come and go, the holders of the rituals come and go, but music, the people, that's the constant. And that's a rhyme from that time to this time. I am one of several ministers who have been gifted and blessed and honored to work with Josiel. But this office, this role changes. The office stays, the person changes. And the songs that have been sung here tie us to different traditions of spirituality, to different times, to different people's grandchildren and voices and memories, beautiful and painful, joyful and uplifting. honest, and affirming. When I was on the train today, I was feeling so good because I thought about last night. I had a beautiful dinner with some very dear friends, and I got to meet two of my nieces and who I haven't seen for a long time, and I just was feeling so happy. And then I was on the train. My wife texted me an article about an awful mass shooting that had happened in California. And in that moment, that profound, awful contradiction between this joy, genuine joy of what I'm thinking about Rahi and Naya and all their futures, and this awful world that still has this violence in it, where people are killed because of who they are, because they're Asian, because of whatever bias that whatever the current mass murderer has. That contradiction between the awful reality and the beautiful reality, that is our life. But we can choose how we respond to this worn and weary world. And we can sing, and we can make music, and we can defy the hate, the organized hate, with love. And maybe in a given moment, it might not feel like we're changing the tides of history, but we are, in little ways, in little ways. And I know that because the world Frances Ellen Watkins Harper is in, that world has changed. We're in a different moment. And it's because people moved forward in love. So our call now, our invitation, is to sing songs for the people, our people, and for the people yet to be, in honor of the people who were before us. There is a phrase, this is recently written from Reverend Cheryl Walker, was on a committee. I'm not going to talk about the committee, but I'm going to talk about this beautiful phrase that she offers us. Love is the power that holds us together and is at the center of our lives. We can choose that. We are accountable to one another for doing the work of living our shared values through the spiritual discipline of love. Love is a habit. When you go down the stairs, you'll see little hearts with quotes of musicians going back centuries, engaged in the habit of love, engaged in the habit of music. Love is a habit. Love is a discipline. Love is a practice, and you can choose it every day. And in doing so, we're creating ripples we'll never know where they go. So I say, on behalf of this congregation, thank you for doing this sacred office. Thank you. You have been present with so many of us in so many ways that may not seem profound, but they are. And I want to thank you for holding this sacred time with us, year in and year out, through a pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. And may we practice, as the ancient scripture says, a joyful noise, and shower one another with hope, love, and compassion. May it be so.
Each week we make an offering from the bounty that we are blessed to enjoy. We do this in a spirit of love and generosity, aware that we have benefited from those who have gone before, those who in their turn gave generously. Our offering goes to support the work of love and justice undertaken by this community. Today's offering will also be shared with PrideWorks. PrideWorks' mission is to inform our communities about the realities of growing up gay, lesbian, bisexual, or transgender, to inspire our communities to respect and support LGBTQ people, and to advocate for positive change. For more information, please visit prideworks.com or our website. You can make your donation in several ways. If present in the sanctuary, you may give cash or a check in the offering plate as it comes by. You may also scan the QR code in your order of service. From your homes, you can make your donation via credit card or PayPal using the links provided in the e-newsletter. Please remember to give a little extra to compensate for the 3% surcharge. Or if you prefer, you can always mail us a check. The offering will now be given and gratefully received. Please join me now in the dedication of the offering. The words are in your order of service. May these gifts and the work of our hands and hearts give power to all we stand for as a community of faith. Please join me now in extinguishing the chalice. The words are also found in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Would you join in our teal hymn book? Josiel chose this, so let's sing it. 1064, Blue Boat Home.
Standing on these mountains of flame, far away from the rolling ocean, still I run and heart and say, I've been sailing all my life now, never far from now I know. Why do you choose the ocean I travel, and the earth I sun, my sail, and moon, my rudder, as I find a starry sea, leaving only end in wonder, asking questions into the deep. Drifting here with my ships from Adamant, only hidden and million souls, making our way o'er the waves of romance in a beautiful blue.
For the benediction, I invite us to take a breath, and I will tell you a secret, which is that this book was a gift to me from Josiel. So we are going to return to our bodies in the present moment. This is 5 couplets. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Breathing in, I am aware of the whole length of my breath. Breathing out, I am aware of the whole length of my out-breath. Breathing in, I am aware of my whole body. Breathing out, I relax my body. Breathing in, I calm my whole body. Breathing out, I smile. Breathing in, I dwell in the present moment. Breathing out, it is a wonderful moment. Spirit of life and love, be with us and remind us the words of Josiel to keep singing.
This is such an incredible congregation. You are more than a congregation, and you have been my family for these past 7 years. And I have some tough months ahead, and with your permission, I would like to come back and visit. I'm really overwhelmed and very appreciative. You will never know that you are in my heart forever, and I'm very, very grateful for all that you have given me. Thank you.